Hi, in a series of banking chapters, today we'll be seeing savings bank accounts. SB account or savings bank account is what we are going to look into. That is for saving purpose, and mostly salaried employees have an account which is mandatory for them to get the credit, and other small depositors will have savings account open. There are various accounts under the savings scheme which are introduced by the banks for the benefit of financial inclusion purpose. So savings bank account is meant for people of the lower and middle classes who wish to save a part of their current incomes to meet their future needs, and also intend to earn an interest from their savings. So banks therefore impose certain restrictions on the savings bank account and also offer a reasonable rate of interest. So what is the restriction? In pursuance of the objectives of the savings bank account, banks impose restrictions on the right of the depositor to withdraw money within a given period. At present, savings bank account deposits are subjected to restrictions regarding the number and amount of withdrawals within a specific period. So the number of withdrawals over a 6-month period is limited to 50. A bank may at its discretion allow additional withdrawals also if it is satisfied with the merits of the case. Similarly, earlier there used to be withdrawals only through checks. Now the option of withdrawal is available through ATM card, point of sale also. So the restrictions to some extent has come down because it is a paperless withdrawal which is happening, and the transactions are happening on the electronic mode. The customers may deposit any amount into the savings bank account subject to a minimum of ₹5. The banks do not accept checks or other instruments payable to a third party. So who is a third party? Anybody other than the account holder, irrespective of blood relationship, is a third party. So third party checks will not be allowed to be deposited in a savings bank account. Is there any minimum balance that needs to be kept under savings bank account? Banks prescribe a minimum balance depending upon the services they offer onto each account. So the discretion of allowing the customers to maintain minimum balance has been decided by each bank's board, and accordingly the minimum balance criteria is kept. If it goes below, then the charges are also applicable into the savings bank account. In January 2003, Reserve Bank of India advised all commercial banks to inform their customers the requirement of minimum balance at the time of opening the account in a transparent manner. So nowadays banks get the acknowledgement in the form of a signature on the minimum balance requirement sheet to be kept along with the account opening form, apart from account opening form and the KYC documents, know your customer documents. So in the event of default of maintaining the minimum balance or average minimum balance, bank should notify the customer that penal charges will be imposed. The penal charges may be recovered under intimation to the depositor. The charges should be fixed percentage on the amount of shortfall. So it is a fixed amount on each of the minimum balances that is not being maintained in the account. Savings account should not turn into a negative balance. So there is no temporary overdraft available. But nowadays on the salaried accounts, 50% of their month-end salary is allowed as temporary overdraft. So drawal is allowed now by few banks in the salary account segment. Payment of interest into the savings bank account. The rate of interest payable by banks on deposits maintained in savings accounts were prescribed by the Reserve Bank of India till 25th October 2011. Effective April 1 onwards, the rate of interest on savings was reduced from 4% to 3.5%. This is in the year 2003. And again raised to 4% in 2011. Interest was calculated at quarterly or longer rest on the minimum balance to the credit of the account. This is the old calculation. 11th to the last working day of the month. Last day of the month, the minimum balance that remained in the account is taken. Supposing on 20th of the month, there is a balance of say 1000 rupees. So the 1000 rupees is taken as the minimum balance for the entire period and then interest was calculated. This was purely in the interest of the banks and not on the interest of the depositor. So the method of calculation is changed now. Now, since April 1, 2010, banks are required to calculate interest on savings bank accounts on the daily balance basis. So that means earlier it was from 11th to the calendar month. The minimum balance that was kept on any day is being taken as the balance for the entire month. Now on daily basis, the interest is calculated and then kept on accrual basis, and it is credited to the bank account either on quarterly basis or on the half yearly basis to the savings bank account. So, is there any tax exemption for the savings? Interest earned on savings bank account has been exempted from the income tax up to rupees 10,000 rupees per assessee with effect from April 1, 2012. Is there any restrictions on savings bank account? RBI has prohibited the banks to open savings bank account in the name of any trading or business concern. Banks should also not open savings bank account for government department, bodies depending on budgetary allocations, municipal corporations and committees, panchayat samitis, state housing boards, water and sewerage boards, state textbook publishing corporation, metropolitan development authority, state and district level housing cooperative societies. So RBI has recently permitted the banks to open savings bank accounts in the name of state government bodies or agencies in respect of grants and subsidies released for implementation of various state level. Banks are required to obtain authorization from respective government department for opening the bank account for their record purpose. So there is an exemption for that general rule. In case it is for grants and subsidies to be given to the general public, those type of accounts can be opened as savings bank account, but a special letter of authority should be obtained from the government for that purpose. There is one more for inclusion of all the people who cannot maintain a minimum balance account, which is called no-frill account or small account, small basic small account. So this is the account where there is no minimum balance required and there is no documentation strictly like how you take for normal savings account. Any one documentary evidence is enough to open this account. 4 withdrawals are allowed in this month, in this account per month, and facility or ATM card or debit card will be provided in this without any charge. 4 withdrawals will be permitted. Banks are permitted to decide the price structure for additional value added services. Account holder will not be eligible to open any other savings bank account with the bank. The existing basic banking no frills account should be converted to basic bank deposit account effectively. Meaning earlier it was opened as no frill account. Now all those accounts are called basic savings bank deposit account. And then there is one more called Pradhan Manthri Dhan Yojna. Prime Minister took a new initiative towards financial inclusion of large number of unbanked people by launching the above scheme in August 2014. Under this scheme, any person not having any bank account may open a bank account even without depositing the initial deposit. The depositor is entitled for a loan of rupees 5,000 on satisfactory conduct of the account for an initial period. He is also entitled to an accidental insurance cover of rupees 2 lakhs. The scheme has brought several crores of people within the fold of banking system. Then another savings bank account is Sukanya Samridhi account. Opening of these accounts is also a new step towards financial inclusion of families having a girl child. Account in the name of a girl child up to the age of 10 years may be opened in a bank jointly with the guardian. The account will mature for payment when the girl attains the age of 21 years or gets married earlier. Loan may be taken for the purpose of education after the girl attains the age of 18. Interest is payable at the rate of 9.2% per annum on this loan taken. So in addition to these savings bank accounts, let's touch upon recurring deposit account, wherein a fixed amount, this is a variant of a savings account. It's called the recurring deposit. This is for a specific period for a customer in the bank. Banks open such accounts for a period ranging from 1 year to 10 years. And here, the rate of interest on the recurring deposit will be favorable, and mostly it will match with the fixed deposit interest rate. And in this case, minimum period of this will be 3 months, and month on month on a specific date, a specific amount will be going towards this monthly deposit or the recurring deposit. The recurring deposit account may be opened by any person, more than one person also jointly or severally, by a guardian in the name of minor or even by a minor. Accumulated amount with interest will be payable after a month of the last payment. Supposing our recurring deposit is open for 1 year, and every month on month promptly it is being paid, and account is opened on 10th of every month. The last installment is paid on 10th of the 11th month. So 10th of the 12th month end, the maturity of 1 year comes and the payment will be given. It will be given either to the transfer into the credit of the savings account or given in the form of a demand draft to the customers. So today we have seen savings bank accounts, its variants, interest, and no frill account, which is small account, Pradhan Manthri Yojna account, and Sukanya Samridhi account, along with recurring deposit. Thank you very much for patiently watching. The next video we will see on current accounts. Thank you. Bye.